What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2 Crown of the Sunken King. At the end of the last episode, we had just picked up a really terrible new sorcery called Focus Souls, which seems on the surface like it's going to be pretty good. I think it does decent damage, but it has a very short range, and you only get 2 casts of it. I think it maxes out at 5 at max attunement, and then you can probably boost it up a little bit more with things like the Northern Ritual Band and the, I think the Dark Hood or Hexer's Hood, and a couple of other Helms give you higher charges on your spells, but still not very good for what it is. And now we are in the Dragon Sanctum. Let's see, there's a charm and some souls. Do I want to head down? No, I don't want to head down there yet. Oh, the other thing about Focus Souls is it has an intellect requirement of 60, which is insane. Even if you're playing a sorcerer, you're probably still gonna need some spice to bring that down to something reasonable, unless you're going like for a 250 level build, and then that's in the range for PvP, and that spell seems awful for PvP. On the other hand, this Lightning Defender Greatsword is super good in all situations. Even post-nerf, it's still a wrecking shop. A little bit of Poison Moss to give you an idea of what's coming up. Actually, these guys, their attacks even poison you. Oh shit! Am I gonna die in a dumb way? I'm gonna die in a dumb way! I died in a dumb way. Instead of thinking about the poison enemies, should have been thinking about the fact that I was about to eat many hexes, along with some mace shots. But I don't like to keep you guys waiting, so we'll skip back and get the revengeance in. Shit. Oh, you are not getting me with this goddamn trap in the back. There's a pressure plate that releases a bunch of bolts. It releases like 6 of them. Oh, not again. No, oh god. Yes, again. It's gonna happen again. No. How did I almost fall for that same shit twice? Okay. Come at me. Come at me, Sunken Mace Knight. Get backstabbed. That's a little over 1,000 damage on that backstab. For a non-melee specific build, this is a hybrid between a caster and a melee build. Then again, this sword is awesome because it scales primarily with lightning, which scales with faith. I think it's got, I want to say it's got an S rank scaling. Oops. And this is not a mimic, even though for a second I was hesitating. Oh, poison. That's what this is. Whatever. They were nice enough to give me Poison Moss, plus I have Caressing Prayer. It has been so long since I played a caster in a Souls game. I think my first Demon Souls playthrough, I played a Knight, and then my second Demon Souls playthrough, I played a Royal, which breaks Demon Souls, by the way. If you're having too much of a hard time with Demon Souls, roll a Royal. It is ridiculous. Royals start off with Soul Arrow and the ring that gives you a little bit of MP regeneration. And Soul Arrow is good enough to last you almost, like, 75% of the game or something. It's crazy. But yeah, it's been a really long time since I played a caster. Or anything that even kind of utilizes casting heavily. Such a nice change of pace, though. My only wish is that there was a better way to select between spells than the way that's been in the Souls series since Demons. It's a little bit clumsy if you have, like, a ton of spells attuned like I do right now. So let's see, I have a couple stacks of Great Lightning Spear, Regular Lightning Spear, Caressing Prayer, Great Heal, and I think I still have Great Magic Barrier on, although I can't remember if I de-attune that at some point. You can drop down there, that's the way to progress, but there's a nice little pocket of treasure waiting back here. So first what you want to do is you want to take your bow. By the way, it really helps to have a bow or binoculars if you're casting back here. But having a bow and a couple of wooden arrows on you will save you charges on your spells. Otherwise, what you can do is you can use the binocular trick to aim, say, a soul arrow or something at those switches. And there are a couple of switches like that you have to aim at. And they'll usually give you access to some pretty cool stuff. I made it out of there before he poisoned me. I really like the enemies in this area. By the way, there's a pressure plate somewhere around here that triggers all of those holes in the wall to try to impale you with spikes. So just avoid hitting that. I'm gonna lure him out. I was saying I love the enemy design in Sunken King because every enemy kind of has its own unique purpose. And even though you can do what I'm doing and kind of brute force your way through the thing that the gimmick that makes them dangerous, like in the case of this guy, he has a poison aura about him. Which means that people like me, who love backstabbing, who will always hug enemies for the backstab, it kind of punishes people like me, and I think I just triggered that with... There it is, it's right below the message, so you can get a good look at what that trap looks like. Yeah, those enemies are designed to punish backstabbers. Even though I'm going to conveniently ignore that because I have so many ways of dealing with the poison... It's just a nice, thoughtful consideration for that enemy. And there's some even cooler enemies coming up. Oh, 3 dragon bones and some twinkling titanite in that. There's an area further in here where you can get tons of, where you can actually farm petrified dragon bones, but that's still a nice, hefty stuff. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. You spin me right round. Okay. I love when shit glitches out. That's why I was so sad when Havoc physics went away. Because you get so few of those ragdoll freak out moments. So somewhere around here, try switch above. Thank you, message from online player. Thank you. There is a switch right up here that lets you get access to one additional piece of treasure back in that room with the 2 chests. Again, just more examples of really good level design and kind of an overall more puzzly feeling to the levels here in the DLC. And hurrah for treasure. What's in here? I actually can't remember. I don't think it's anything that... Oh, it's a puzzling stone sword. This thing is really, really cool. Let's get in that description. This thing works kind of like a hybrid between a sword and a whip. A sword with a segmented blade. When swung, its segments separate, and the sword strikes in a whipping slash. Crafted with a rare magnetic stone of remarkable strength only found deep within caves of the gutter. Yeah, that puzzling stone sword is radical. I might have to mess around with a build revolving around that thing at some point in the near future. So that's all the treasure you can get down here. There are a couple of shortcuts that we can open up later on that lead back out into that hallway. But for now, let's go ahead and progress. Bugoo? Bugoo? Let's plunging attack that. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh! Everything about that went as poorly as possible. I thought, hey, let's just plunging attack down there and take care of business, but whew, that went wrong. I didn't have enough range to actually hit it with my plunging attack, and I didn't recover in time to roll away from the 2 bugs. Alright, we'll be back there again in just a second. Before I head back there, I should actually show these enemies off, these phantom-looking enemies. If you notice, they aren't actually phantoms of players. They're not moving around, and they're much taller, and I can target them. Oh, you're not getting up here. They also take very little damage at present. There's 2 of them in this room. There's a trick to these enemies that makes them very cool. What you want to do is you want to drop down here, and their bodies are actually on top of these sarcophagi. Is that the plural of sarcophagus? I don't know what the plural of that word is. Is it sarcophagi or sarcophaguses? That doesn't sound right. But now that they are corporeal, well, slightly more corporeal, we can just chuck plasma. We can sit back like Dr. Doom and chuck that plasma. Or Zeus and chuck those lightning bolts. I'll just kite them around a little bit. You can see they still do tons of damage. Power stancing those Falchions. Somebody corrected my pronunciation of Falchion, and I don't remember what the correct pronunciation is. It's just that I've only ever heard it pronounced that way, and oh shit, there's another enemy in this room. I might die here. I'm gonna have to handle this delicately. That wasn't delicate. That was just stupid. Man, the DLC's kicking my ass. I kind of like it. There's a pretty noticeable difficulty spike here. Once again, we'll be back in a moment. Alright, we're gonna do this right this time. Again, I like to avoid making the same mistake twice, so... Chuck a lightning bolt, chuck a lightning bolt. Oh, shit! I thought he was gonna jump right up that ledge. Ooh, didn't want to do that. I overstepped a little bit. That's okay, the other one didn't even trigger. Oh, that's graceful. Now that's how you handle that enemy. And luckily, once you destroy their bodies, or once you give them, the phantoms, their armor and their body back, you don't have to do that again. They stay that way. And that went perfectly. Praise the fucking sun. So now we have unfettered access to 5 really good chests in this room. That one had destructive great arrows. I think it's 5 chests in here. Either way, you get some pretty good stuff here. Catarina Helm, the Onion Bro Helm. Yeah. It is significantly less ugly than the helm I have on right now, but the Saint's Hood is too good to be ignored. Soul Vessel. After I open these next 2 chests, I'll actually describe what the Saint's Hood does, because it has a little hidden property that makes it pretty hard to compete with for my build, and a Titanite slab. Okay, so like I was saying, the Saint's Hood is great for Templar and Paladin builds like mine, because it's one of a large number of helms in the game which has a hidden property. The tooltip on it says it increases the number of casts for your spells, which it does. That alone makes it good, but what it doesn't tell you is that it also increases your faith by 1. Otherwise, I'd be using the Black Hood or the Hexer's Hood, but the combination of faith and extra casts is, I think, unique to this helmet, and it's the one that I personally prefer. Another good one would be the King's Crown, which also has hidden stats. It gives you 3 int, 3 faith, and +2 cast speed. Let's not screw this up again. I'm gonna shut up about my build for just a moment. Talk more about it in a second, though. Let's make sure I don't die to these bugs. I'm gonna whip out some lightning spears and try to pick them off from up here while I can, and then drop down and not plunging attack, just roll, because there will be shit behind me, I think. Okay. Oh, wow, the Great Lightning Spear takes him down in 1 shot. And I stepped into the room. Not a problem, though. By the way, Lycia of Lindell gives you the full Saint set if you have 30 faith when you talk to her. And alternatively, shit, you can invade her with a crushed red eye orb and kill her in the invasion to get it. Oh man, these bugs hit way harder than you might expect. They also spew corrosive mist, which I think you saw last episode. This is kind of a scary, tight spot. If I can drink for a second. Nah, they're not gonna give me a chance. There is one above me, too. And there's corrosive juice inside all of these egg sacs. Hopefully, I'm not gonna get headbutted out of midair, or from midair. Okay, I've pulled myself through a scary spot. And I think they're all corralled, even though they can fly. They're all just gonna path up the stairs here. But they're not turning off their goddamn aura of corrosive mist, which I don't like. So we'll just take the ladder up and get a really good ring. Come on. Come on, you son of a bitch. Oh, there's more dropping from the ceiling. I haven't had time to check up there. I've been, like, so frantic running away from them. Again, cowardice is always the answer to your problems. So, now that I'm kind of out of dodge, let's talk a little bit more about this Paladin build, which I've come up with for this DLC. So, as I've already said, I'm using the Lightning Defender Greatsword +5. You get that from trading the Throne Defender's soul. And another nice alternative to it before you can get it, since it's kind of an endgame weapon, is a Lightning Claymore or a Lightning Mace, which is what the clerics start out with anyway. That thing is super good. Or a Haid Knight Sword, which is pretty decent. And I'm using a Lightning Dragon Chime, which you get after you beat Dark Lurker, or you can get the Disc Shield that functions as a chime as a good alternative, and that's a really good ring I just picked up. Let's, again, check that thing out. Flynn's Ring. Ring of Flynn, the infamous thief, utilizes the strength of the wind such that lower equip leads to lower equip load proportionally increases physical attack. Flynn was known as a tiny fighter who packed a mighty punch. Even the most skilled warriors in the land failed to capture him. This ring is super interesting, and it's also very unique. In fact, it's so interesting that I'm going to interrupt my little build discussion time to describe it. It gives you a higher attack rating based on your maximum equip load and not your current weight, your current equip weight. So that means lower vitality plus taking off the third dragon ring and the royal soldier's ring while you have Flynn's ring on will give you a much higher damage. It's a cool idea to encourage you to roll lighter characters and not rely on royal soldiers and the like. Down here we have more of these phantoms who are power stancing swords. We're gonna bypass them for now until we can get to the room with all of their bodies contained neatly in one nice little package. Ah, shit. There is a caster here, though. But it's not too dangerous. Actually, is it down here? Let me check real quick. There is a phantom just gonna follow me if I'm wrong. I think this is the wrong way, but I want to make sure while I'm down here. I think this leads to an invasion. Yes, it does. So I want to kite him down and then run around him. And then run to the spot I want to be. I do have to fight that caster. But there's nothing too dangerous going on here. As long as I don't get ganked by the two phantoms, it's all good. Phantom is a really weird way to phrase it, because of the pre-existing game mechanic ghosts, I guess? Minor ghosts. Frustrated ghosts. So, if you're min-maxing with this Paladin build, you probably want this Cleric or Paladin build if you're relying more heavily on casting, because even though I said all that shit about, you know, it's weird playing a caster when I'm so not used to it, I'm still relying mostly on melee. Wait, what does that say? Oh, goddammit, I walked into the poison trying to read that message. Shit. I thought it said something interesting. Yeah, you probably want the Lion Mage gear because all of the pieces increase your cast speed. And it helps that I'm melee, so that I'm more melee than I am a caster, so I can handily ignore that useful little feature. I'm just kind of occasionally buffing myself and chucking lightning spears at people. So I don't need the cast speed that bad. I'm only wearing the cuffs for the Lion Mage set, though. Mostly because of Fashion Souls. The insolent chest piece looks so good. I believe you can buy it from Graveward and Agadine in the Crypt. I can't remember if you can pick it up somewhere. Okay, so these phantoms are usually pretty stupid. So I want to see if while I'm running around here, I can make them fall off. And then after they're taken care of, if they decide to fall off, if their pathing allows them to. Which it usually does, but they're not cooperating. Yeah, I guess I'll just smash the bodies normally and fight them as Lord Jeezy intended. As our man, the Big G, intended to fight these video game enemies. As for rings with this build, I'm personally rocking Ring of Blades +1 from killing the Pursuer in the Iron Keep after Smelter Demon. You can get the +2 version of the Ring of Blades from New Game Plus Drang Lake Castle. Or you can, obviously, as is the case with like 99% of New Game Plus exclusive items, you can just pop a bonfire aesthetic in the castle, and if you walk into that empty throne room, you will fight 2 pursuers at once and then get the +2 Ring of Blades. I'm also rocking the Southern Ritual Band +2 for extra attunement slots. I believe you get 4 from the +2 version, and you pick that up from New Game Plus Nachka, and you can find the +1 version in Brightstone Cove. The 3rd Dragon Ring from the Shrine, Chloranthy Ring +2 from New Game Plus Executioner's Chariot. This is a good position for them. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Also, these guys dual wield repeating crossbows, Sanctum crossbows, and they occasionally fire magic at you, which is kind of weird. But the fact that they have this slow ranged option actually makes this room much more manageable, because you don't have to worry about meleeing 4 of these really tough enemies at a time. Usually it's just 2. That went poorly. Okay, so we're down to 2 enemies. The enemies respawn, but they'll respawn in their bodies as opposed to the much tougher ghost variant of the enemy. So if I do have to do this twice, it doesn't look like it. It's going pretty smoothly. Backstab you. That was not a backstab. And he backstepped to avoid me finishing him. Shit! That leap attack is vicious. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to finish talking about my rings while I run back, and then end the episode, and we'll start back in that crypt, in that mausoleum. So yeah, Chloranthy +2 from New Game Plus Executioner's Chariot, and then I have a number of rings that I can also turn to if I so choose. Like the Northern Ritual Band +2 is pretty good for this build. I'm not using it because even though it gives you a ton of extra casts, which I would like, it cuts your health in half, which fuck that. You get the +2 version from Aldi's Keep. I also have a Ring of Prayer around, which you can buy from Lycia. That gives you +5 faith. It's not great, but if you have no other options, it's viable. And the Royal Soldier Ring +1 I have if I really need the extra equip load, which I haven't found a need for so far. Also, I haven't shown all of this cool stuff off before, so actually this run back is useful. So remember when I said there was a dead end here? That was me being foolish and not exploring enough. There's actually a hidden bonfire around here. But there's also tons of enemies, so first we want to clear those out, and then we can explore around a little. I have one more ring that I'm kind of keeping around just in case it comes up, in case it becomes handy. I have a clear bluestone ring +2, which if you're going way heavier on the casting, if you're more of a pure sorcerer or a pure cleric or something like that, or pyro or hexer, any of those, this is a ring you really want to have around, the clear bluestone ring +2. You get it from the New Game Plus Skeleton Lords, and it increases the rate at which you cast. It increases your cast speed. So we want to hit all of those puzzle obelisks, because they raise a couple of the buildings nearby. And you can actually make a bridge out of the buildings that rise up once you hit them. I knew that they had to have some kind of a purpose, but the first time I came through here, which was in the first episode, I actually didn't know at the time that those did anything. Oh, I want to corral these guys back here. Bam! Oh no! Got hit by the follow-up. Remember, these guys are very hard to put into their poise break stagger animation. It can be done. You need to do a lot of poise damage. It helps to have. Is it the Giant's Ring or the other ring, or the Stone Ring? It's one of the two. One of them increases your poise. The other one makes you do more poise damage. It also helps to have a greatsword. They can be staggered. They have an incredibly high amount of poise, though. Alright, so that's the area pretty much clear. Now we can figure out how to make all of these buildings rise up to form a bridge, which will lead to a bonfire up here. I believe I have to hit this one in the wall. And then I think I'm also missing another one. Oh, you know what? I think I know what I did wrong here. While I was corralling the enemies, the Sunken Knights... Yeah, that one raises the one on my right. I have no way of getting the middle one up from where I am right now, so I have to lower the one on my left and then run back to the area where I corralled all those Sunken Knights to and fought them on the ledge, because there was that... Oh my god, you motherfucker! That was the stupidest thing I could have done. I'll just finish my thought and end the episode on that amazing, amazing failure. Yeah, there was just an obelisk that I accidentally hit while fighting the other enemies, which I'll show you the proper way to open up this shortcut to the bonfire next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one. What an amazing, horrible-ass screw-up. Jesus Christ.